Hello and welcome to your cards for the week. Today is Sunday, the 31st of October, 2021. So these are the cards for the first week of November. Okay, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Deborah Jane Sutton, and you can find out more about me and the work that I do at my website, deborahjanesutton.com, link in description, and also on this YouTube channel. Also, if you're looking for any freebies, my first book, Heal Yourself to Happiness, is free to download from my website. So have a little look at that and see if it resonates with you. If it does, you can go ahead and buy the second book, Heal Your Soul, which I'll put a link into as well. Now, I've just done actually the cards for November because I've recently started doing monthly cards as well. And they were great, so I'll put a link to them in the description as well, and also at the end screen of this video. But I'm kind of feeling to use different cards. And so I used to use these all the time. These are the fairy tarot cards. I used to love these. And then I kind of moved on to traditional tarot and love those as well. But for some reason, I'm just feeling the pull to use these ones. So let's see what that's all about. In the monthly cards that I did for November, I felt drawn to using the Archangel Raphael healing cards. So that was interesting in itself. So I'm just going with the flow and seeing how I feel. So, wow. Okay, thank you. Are there any other cards that we need to pull at the moment? Any guidance, any intuitive guidance, anything we need to know? That was rather too many. Sounds like there's a lot we need to know. These are much thicker, these cards. Okay. Anything else? We've got two out at the moment. And that one wants to come out, and that, thank you. They're making it easier for me now. Wow, although they have pulled out an awful lot. I'm assuming that's it. Okay, yes, that's it. Okay, let's see what's going on here then. Wow, nice start. Beautiful. Oh, yes, okay. Okay. Brilliant. So let's kickstart. We have the 10 of summer. I'll give you a little bit of the traditional tarot as well with it, because this is about, this is the 10 of cups. So it's an emotionally fulfilling time with family or friends. Raising children wisely, people you can trust. Raising children wisely. Are you one of the souls that have had to take your kids out of school? Okay, there's a lot of people taking their kids out of school. That could be part of raising your children wisely. A lot of people are looking more at homeschooling and also unschooling, thinking that schooling is is a case of indoctrination. So unschooling and letting the children lead. And of course, there's a thin line between doing that and having unruly children. You see, it's not the same thing at all. You know, it's not a case of having unruly, disrespectful children, okay? But it's understanding that the children that are incarnating at this time are incarnating with far more light codes than we have. We've been doing all this inner work. We've been trying to release all this density, okay? And we're kind of like scrambling up the fourth dimensional energy field, you know, dealing with our emotions and our thoughts and our beliefs and all of this, whereas the children are coming in already activated at a higher level of consciousness. They're already coming in far more sensitive than we did. We've gained sensitivity, obviously, as we raise our level of consciousness. That's how we become more psychic. That's how we become more intuitive. And that's how we manage to follow our inner ding more readily because of that sensitivity. A lot of you may be maybe using the word empath is not a word that I use very much, but just meaning that you're sensitive to others. That sensitivity in your frequency. Also, the more sensitive we get, and I talked about this in the monthly video, the more sensitive we are to toxins, you know, whether it be alcohol, cigarettes, or sugar, or what have you, or pollutants, we're much more sensitive to it. Our children have incarnated more sensitive than us already. So all these people that are calling them lightweights and snowflakes and all these derogatory terms, you know, and they are more sensitive because they have not incarnated to live in this density that we're living in at the moment, with the corruption, the control, the manipulation, and the fear. They have incarnated to live their life in the new earth. So it's up to us to clear away that density, to observe that manipulation, that control, and the greed, and all those things that we don't want to live with anymore. It's up to us to transcend all of that so that we can access heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is not a place, remember. Heaven on earth is a level of consciousness. So we need to clear that way, and then the younger generations are coming through to actually create the new earth. So with that in mind, look at what's happened to the school system. Now, I was in the school system for 30 years, and over time, I saw it deteriorate, as in the well-being of the children was no longer paramount, and was one of the many reasons that I chose to get out. So when the well-being of the children is not priority, is that where you want your child? Look at the schools today. So I've just picked on that point. So I think it's a really important one. But this is the 10 of Cups, or the 10 of Summer, as this one is emotionally fulfilling families. And I do think this is about spending more time with your families. It is not a time to go out and about. It is not a time to be outside of ourselves. It's a time to go within, spend more time on your own and more time with your loved ones. I think that's really important. That's been coming up, that came up last month, it's come up last week. So I think that's a really important point, and it's come up first now. Okay, so spend more time with your family. That's what it's asking you to do with your loved ones, and especially with your children. Okay, even if they're adult children, you know, this is their family, right? The next one is the Magician, and he always comes up to remind us that we are the alchemists, that we are the magicians. We are the ones that can transmute mud into gold, fear into love, okay? 3D into 5D, however you want to word it. You can do anything. Take charge of your life. You can manifest what you need to be a success. And in traditional tarot, he has all the suits of tarot on the table. That is the Wands, which is fire, and the Pentacles, which is earth, the Swords, which is air, and the Cups, which is water. And with those elements, you can create whatever you want. Okay, I mean, you are the creator of your own reality. So I always see the Magician as coming up as a reminder of that. You're creating your reality through your frequency. That's why I think we're being asked to spend time with our families, just to lay low or lie low. I don't know, lie low. to lay on a lie low. No, to just to lie low and just stay at home and yeah, spend time with your family, doing what makes you feel good, resting as well. I mean, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're coming into winter, so a lot of people want to sleep a little bit more maybe. Let yourself rest. Let yourself chill. This is a message that's been coming up for a few weeks now, because you are the creator. Pushing yourself and running yourself ragged is not going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help you create heaven on earth. That's the point. 3 of Spring. Now that is the 3 of Wands. And what I like about that is the 3 of Wands is all about collaborating with other people. And it's about the fruition that comes from having made a positive decision. Now it's coming on the heels of this one. We've been talking about taking your kids out of school. Not just taking your kids out of school, but we're talking about family time. Okay, make a decision to spend more family time. And this is the fruition that comes from having made that decision. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term and have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. And it is about collaborating with other people, as I said, but I think collaborating with your family, involving things. One of the things that's happened over millennia is the families have got really quite dispersed. And I'm not talking just about separated families, broken families, or divorced or what have you. I'm talking about the fact that mum and dad are both going out to work, kids are all going out to school, then they're going to university, then everyone's all separate for most of the day. And then they come back and, they're tired. There's something different going on. The new earth is going to be a very different way. And that's where I think homeschooling is relevant, because it's bringing the family back together. Now, I understand there's going to be a lot of parents saying, you're not in a position to homeschool because you need to go to work yourself, or you're not in a position to homeschool because it's not your forte. I get that. But you know what we need to do? We need to start creating what it is that we want. So if you are a teacher that's left the profession and you're homeschooling your own children, open up to your neighborhood. This is what I think we need to do. We need to get it more local in our communities. And we need to, those that are homeschooling, open up and offer to homeschool other people's children as well. And then other people will be able to help in some way or another. That's what I think we need to do to go forward. A lot of people are having to leave their jobs, whether it be the teaching profession or the medical profession or the banking system or whatever. People are leaving their jobs because they're not comfortable there anymore. They're feeling like they're being pushed out. But remember, you are creating everything for your own benefit. And so if you're being pushed out, it's because you need to go, because you are probably one of the more conscious people. And we need you to start and create something new elsewhere. So if you're one of these care workers or nurses or what have you that are being forced out of your profession, no, you're not. You're being asked to go and share your skills with other conscious people, share your skills in another way. But it's scary because you don't know how to do that. And the present day materialistic world isn't geared towards that. But we're never going to create that if brave souls like you don't take that first step. So I'm urging, this is quite passionate now. I wasn't planning any of this, but I'm urging the trained medical staff among you, the teachers among you, and bankers and whoever else, that are among you that are feeling uncomfortable where you are. It is a case of getting together and helping other people that are also, wanting to leave their situation. It's going to be a bit of a gamble, and we need to rely on each other. We need to rely on each other, because the more conscious people that are creating heaven on earth, there's not going to be greed and manipulation and control. That's not going to be in your level of consciousness. So you can trust your neighbor. You can trust your colleague. You can trust each other, because that's the basis of heaven on earth. It is scary in one way, but in a way it's not. In a way it's really empowering, isn't it? It's really motivating, because you are the brave souls that came here to do that. I'm really excited about it. I'll put a link in as well to Dolores Cannon's book, The 3 Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth. Because if you're watching this video, there's a very high chance that you're one of the 3 waves of volunteers, and that you're a starseed that has come here to actually make this move. So, wow, that all came out, so must be relevant. And here we've got the Queen of Autumn, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Down to earth. Pentacles is money, career, finances. I usually interpret it as abundance activity. It's going to bring you joy. Isn't it going to bring you joy to share your gifts with people that really appreciate them? Wouldn't it bring you joy if you're a teacher to be teaching like really conscious kids that from conscious families, and you'll be able to teach from your heart and not be restricted by some curriculum that's come from some booted and suited person in an office somewhere, that doesn't even know the children that's in front of you. right? That you can actually share your teaching gifts and skills from your heart, and you can look at the souls that are in front of you and cater to their needs and their well-being. Wow. And what about if you're a carer? Wouldn't it be great if you could just care for people, maybe open up your own house as some kind of, caring day center? For people that need, family members to be looked after or what have you. And you can, again, do it from your heart without all that paperwork, without all those restrictions, based on trust and love and compassion and all those beautiful frequencies that we're aspiring to in the fifth dimensional levels of consciousness. I think it would be wonderful. I think it's lovely. But let's go back to the Pentacles, because it's a reminder, right? The Queen of Pentacles is financially secure. Pentacles is connected to abundance, is connected to your finances. You will be okay financially. You just don't think it at the moment. You can't see it at the moment. You've got to take a risk at the moment. Yeah, of course you have, but you're a brave soul. So this card has come as a reminder that you can afford it financially, time-wise, effort-wise, everything else. You can do it. And it's going to bring you so much joy that it's going to catapult you into heaven on earth. And by sharing that with others, sharing those gifts and skills that you have with others, we need you. New Earth needs you, okay? So please take that on board and start collaborating with people in your locality. Use the internet to reach out to people, but then physically get together, because there are very highly conscious people with very specific skills that are leaving their places of work, and there is a market for them, but they just can't see it at the moment, because of what, is all new. But you will be financially secure. She's stable, she's secure, she's grounded. So you're going to be okay. She's also a very good businesswoman, by the way. Not that we're going to go into some kind of greedy business, consciousness. No, we're going into abundance consciousness, but we will all be looked after. That's for sure. Then we've got the Two of Spring, which is the Two of Wands, which is the decision. It's the decision that comes before this fruition, after the decision. So this is about the decisions that you're making to start new systems, I want to say. All the systems are crumbling and coming down. We've got to stop putting a plaster over them and trying to hold them up. We've got to get out and start our own. We've got to start from scratch. And yes, I'm on my own. What can I do about it? Get together with other people. This is where we're at. When you make the right moves in life, then when you follow your inspiration, and you follow your divine guidance, and the cards for November were all about heightening your intuition. So when you do that and you make these more intuitive decisions and you follow your own inner guidance, then everything will fall into place, and you're going to meet the right people at the right time for the right job or for the right reasons. You know that already. You're watching this video, so you already know that when things fall into place, they miraculously fall into place. You have to believe in miracles to receive them. Don't forget. And it's that inner knowing, remember? Inner knowing is like a faith, it carries you to miracles. We have got the Seven of Winter, which is the Seven of Swords, which traditionally means deceit and lack of trustworthiness. So in the collective, there could be a lot of that about, not immediately around you, because you're spending time with your loved ones, okay? And you've got these positive intentions to create heaven on earth. But also, we do see it in the collective, okay? But also, if we do see it in the collective, the more that you see it in the collective, this lack of trustworthiness and the deceit, the manipulation and all of that, the more you see it, the more it's reflecting back to you your own lack of trust in yourself. So I often refer to this card as being, where are you deceiving yourself? Okay, where are you deceiving yourself? It's following on a theme. You get it? You feel like you're not in a position to be able to start your own homeschool, to start your own healing center, to start your own, investment scheme or what have you, your own community project. I want to say a community project, whether it be planting organic vegetables and delivering them. You know, you've got to work with other people. So you're doing the planting, you've got someone that's a driver, doesn't want to drive for a company, wants to work for himself. You're all working for each other, right? It's whatever line of work you're in. You know, it's about reaching out to other people. But at the moment, you think you can't do it. That's where you're deceiving yourself. And you probably think you're not good enough. And you probably think you can't afford it. You probably think you haven't got the time or the money or the resources. And this is telling you you have. Stop deceiving yourself. Okay? And you might have your head in the sand. You might be sitting there waiting for other people to do things. Just remember, there is no one else. There is only you. And you are creating your reality. That's what the magician's all about. You are creating your reality, and it's based on your frequency. This is all about sovereignty as well. That also came up in the cards for the month of November. So I urge you to have a look at them as well, because it's all relevant stuff, of course, because these cards are for the first week of November. So it's all relevant stuff. So just remember that you are creating. So if you're one of these people that's waiting for other people to do things, you're going to be waiting a long time. It's got to come from you. It's got to come from you. And look at this one. This is the Hanged Man usually, and it's awakening. It's awakening. What I love about this card, let me read it to you first. Change the way you're looking at the situation. Embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in the action. It's completely saying what I'm saying about if you're being asked to leave your job, if you're choosing to leave your job because you don't like the way it's been run, or maybe you've been dismissed recently. Change the way you look at it. That is not a bad thing. Don't go into victimhood. You know, I got dismissed, isn't it unfair? I'm going to fight it. No, don't fight it. We're not fighting anything. There's a Chinese proverb, and I can't remember it exactly, but it's along the lines of, if you don't make a move in the right direction when the universe suggests that you do, then everything around you will start stinking for your own benefit. In other words, if you don't jump ship, you know, you'll get kicked out of the ship. And then you go into victimhood. No, what it's showing is that you should have jumped ship a long time ago, and your heart probably told you that. No? And it might not be work related. It could be a group of friends that you want to get out of, and you've been deceiving yourself. You know, no, they're good friends. No, I need them, or, you know, whatever. And then you fall out of resonance, and they're the ones that kind of reject you in the end. You know, whereas you knew in your heart that it wasn't right. Don't go into victimhood. I've been dismissed. I've been rejected. You know, you create your own reality. You have catapulted yourself out of a situation. So read Dolores Cannon's book, 3 Ways of Volunteers in the New World, and you'll be like, why have I done this? There's something magical and amazing and divine waiting for you. It's called heaven on earth. And you are going to create it. You are creating it through your thoughts, your beliefs, your words, and your actions. Wow. And that's where awakening comes. Look, we've got awakening. There's greater awakening to be had when you take these leaps of faith, when you actually stop doing what you didn't want to do in the first place. Take sovereignty over your own experience, your own creations, your own reality. Take responsibility for yourself and your energy field. Okay, and this last one is the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. And it says ego. Now, I think this is a relevant one because, like I said, there may be less money coming in. That's okay. Look at them. They're burning the guilt and, you know, the things they don't need anymore. Okay, so get rid of the guilt, get rid of the greed, get rid of the materialism. You know, you probably have so much stuff that you just do not need. Okay, so, and you probably need very little, because we don't need to be all, you know, brand new cars and, you know, fashionable clothes and all of this. I'm not saying don't do those things if you have them, but all I'm saying is, where's your needs? What do you need? What's more important to you? We're not superficial anymore. It's all about raw love energy from the heart, isn't it? So this is a reminder that there's a lot of stuff. When you have this awakening, a lot of this stuff is going to go. You're going to be so filled with joy and excitement and inspiration to do what you're good at and to do what you enjoy, but in an environment that actually promotes well-being of everybody, in an environment that actually raises your level of consciousness. That's an awakening. And that's when you're going to realize that all this material stuff and this ego and this pride and this guilt and the, you know, rejection and all these things, they just go because you're following your heart and you're just expressing that divine love that you are. Heaven on earth is already here. It's not a place, it's a level of consciousness. And this month is magical. But the reason we're being asked to spend more time with our family is, I think, to keep us away from those third dimensional, heavy density situations, you know, whether it be banks or I don't know what, you know, where people are being controlled and manipulated and you know, whatever these consciousnesses are that you've risen above now, okay? So it's a time to reflect, get yourself out of victimhood. If you have been catapulted out of a situation, it's for your own benefit. It's not just for your own benefit, it's for the benefit of the collective, because you are so powerful. You have gifts and skills, you know, and divine characteristics that you came here to experience and express with others. Okay, Pablo Picasso said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Just share it. The knowledge that you have, the experience that you have in whatever line of work that you've been doing, if it brings you joy, share it with others however you can. Just take those steps. You might not know how it's going to unfold. Well, you probably don't know how it's going to unfold, but just take those first steps with a heart full of love, a heart full of compassion, and a heart full of faith. Because that's heaven on earth. You have to create it. You have to create it. Wow, I feel really quite emotional now. That was really, I feel quite emotional. That was quite a powerful reading. So I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you at all. But as I said, it might not be a job. It could be a group of friends. It could be just people that you're not resonating with anymore. It could be a job you're not resonating with. It could be a relationship you're not resonating with anymore. And also have a look at the cards for November, because obviously they are relevant as well. Wow. Got a bit excited there. I hope that helps. I'm sending you all so much love. Love, peace, compassion, joy, peace and harmony, and all those lovely things that we have in heaven on earth. And thank you for doing your bit. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing your bit. Bye for now.